Hi, this is Tamal Kumar Mazumdar again. Today I have to share my thoughts on State Bank of India Act and Regulations 1955. 65 years ago, the then government, through the parliament, passed the act and created State Bank of India. During this long period, there are several changes in the act and regulations. But as regards rights of small shareholders are concerned, sadly, it remained the same as it was in 1955. Take, for example, Regulation 31(1) of the State Bank of India Regulations 1955, which mentioned about voting rights of shareholders. What it says? It says, subject to provisions contained in Section 11 of the Act, each shareholder who has been registered as a shareholder for a period of not less than 3 months prior to the date of a general meeting shall at such meeting have one vote for each 50 shares held by him. It means that shareholders whose holding is less than 50 equity shares in State Bank of India are not entitled to vote, which is totally unacceptable in today's world. There are thousands of shareholders who are holding less than 50 equity shares in State Bank of India. By not allowing them to vote, since its inception, it seems is nothing but deprivation of public interest. If a shareholder who holds a share in a company or bank is not allowed to vote, then an essential characteristic of his share is being removed. Through the said act and regulations, a sizable chunk of voting in a single entity, namely State Bank of India, is being ignored. By doing this, State Bank of India is also violating listing agreements signed with different stock exchanges. Can it be treated as deep pocket theory, keeping in mind the share price and market capitalization of State Bank of India? Keeping in mind the closing price of State Bank of India at BSE on 24th April 2020, a person will have to invest nearly 10,000 rupees, 10,000, in order to get voting rights in State Bank of India general meeting. It is also unique to note that marketable lot of the share in the stock exchanges is only one. It is also unique to note that all other nationalized banks and private banks have given voting rights to all its shareholders irrespective of their holding. As if they are holding one share, then also they have voting rights at the general meeting of those banks. If this is the position, then why State Bank of India may be allowed to give voting rights only to those shareholders holding 50 or more shares in it? It is totally against corporate governance now. Why State Bank of India get preferential treatment from the government RBI in comparison to nationalized or private banks as regards voting right of small shareholders are concerned? Again, Regulation 28 of the State Bank of India Regulations 1955, which deals in the minutes of the annual general meeting. What it says? Regulation 28 says, minutes of the general meeting, State Bank shall cause the minutes of all proceedings of general meeting to be entered in books kept for that purpose. Through the Regulation 28, remained mum about giving certified copy of minutes of general meeting to its shareholders. Yet, taking advantage of the ambiguity of Regulation 28, State Bank of India management turns down request of shareholders for asking for a copy of certified copy of minutes of the general meeting. I still don't know what is the harm in sharing copy of the sense of the meeting which shareholders took part. In this connection, I also want to bring to your notice that all nationalized banks as well as private banks, on request from shareholders, used to send certified copy of minutes of the general meeting subject to payment of certain fee. Noticing these anomalies, during 1998, I moved a writ petition in the Honorable Calcutta High Court. Honorable Justice Ajay Nath Ray pronounced verdict on 30th August 1999, striking down Regulation 31(1) of the State Bank of India Regulations 1955, and gave voting rights to all shareholders, irrespective of their holding, with effect from 1/1/2000. Justice Ray mentioned that Regulation 31, as it stands today, is violative of Article 14. Subsequently, the division bench of the same High Court reversed the order. Already long 21 years from the date of the judgment of the Honorable Calcutta High Court have passed. Several changes took place, but there is no change as regards Regulation 31(1) of the State Bank of India Regulation 1955. It is unique to note that as per the website of State Bank of India, it designated all over India 15,375 officers of the rank of AGM as Assistant Central Public or Central Public Information Officers, and 88 officers of the rank of GM as Appellate Authority in order to make Right to Information Act successful. But there is no change in the State Bank of India Act 1955 and its regulations. 1955 for giving voting rights to all shareholders, irrespective of their holding, and giving copy of the minutes of the general meeting available for shareholders on request. In the era of transparency, my appeal to the central government as well as to Reserve Bank of India to look into these draconian regulations and take appropriate steps for its deletion, amendment. Please share your views, suggestions, comments in this respect in our YouTube channel, Corpo Voice India, or mail us at corpovoice@gmail.com. Our endeavor will be to reply all mails. Thank you all.